Hey, good morning. Thank you for joining us for Raptor Chat YMC. I'm Jimmy Nguyen, admission representative, your host for this webinar. Um, I hope you are staying safe and well. I want to let you know that this webinar is being recorded and it will be accessible later on the Facebook page MC Future Students. This is scheduled for roughly an hour. And just to get some logistical matters out of the way, you won't be able to verbally ask questions during this webinar. Instead, please use the questions and answer feature on your control bar. And my colleagues and I will try our best to answer your questions. We may likely not be able to answer each individual question. However, we will provide you with the contact information at the end of the session to follow up on your own. With that said, I'm going to start with this Raptor Chat. Why Montgomery College? Well, Montgomery College is located locally in Montgomery County. But before we go to that, I want to let you know that at the end of the sessions, you will have received information on the benefits of attending Montgomery College, how to navigate MC website to locate resources, steps to enroll, and where to find complete the MC application, how to contact us if you have any questions. Okay, so Montgomery College is located in Montgomery County. We have 3 campuses, 1 college. So it doesn't really matter which campus you decide to attend ultimately. All your classes is going to be on the same transcript. The only difference that we have among 3 campuses is just maybe when you get to your major, most of your courses of your core requirements going to be ended up at that campus. For example, Tacoma Park. Tacoma Park has the specialized areas in health sciences. So if you're a nursing major, physical therapy, for example, if you were to be in any of those majors, chances are when you get to your core requirement, those classes going to be most likely be held at Tacoma Park campus. The same thing with, say, Germantown. If your major is biology or something like that, chances are most of your core requirements going to be in a Germantown campus. And for IT or criminal justice, the same thing with Rockville. Even though Rockville is the largest campus, many people refer to Rockville campus as the main campus, but it is not. It's just one of our 3 campuses. It's just is the larger campus with more students enrolled in there, probably because of the location. But other than that, the campuses, a convenience is there for you to be able to access the campus based on where you live in the county. All of them are metro and public transportation accessible. Okay, so why Montgomery College? Well, Montgomery College, one of the things that we pride ourselves in instructing students is that our ability to have a very small size classroom. Our students to professor ratio is about 17-18 to 1. So the classroom size is pretty small. And what it does is it gives you a lot of benefits as far as being so close to your instructor. Because I know that for a fact, because for my own example, I used to attend a school where I was sitting among 300 other students. And if I had questions, I raised my hand. I was lucky to get a TA. A TA is basically a teacher assistant. They stand on the side of the classroom. So you don't really get that personal interaction with your professor. And if I have specific questions that I want to ask the professor, I would have to wait for his office hour, make an appointment to do that and all of that. So here in a smaller side classroom, what you can do is you have a questions, you raise your hands, and chances are you get your questions answered. We also offer over 100 programs of studies, which means that you don't really have to go to Montgomery College to just transfer to another school get an associate's degree, but you also can obtain certificates. Career and technical options are available, such as, if you want to be an HVAC technicians, you want to be an auto mechanic, a culinary expert, and things like that. There's plenty of programs for you to choose from. I'd like to say that whatever you decide to do in life, you can start with Montgomery College. Now, we work with about 25 or more countries for the study abroad program. So what that means is that student in Montgomery College can occasionally apply to this program, whereby you can travel to another country, learn a new language, spend a few weeks or even a semester, and earn your credits while learning the new cultures and all of that. So it's a very good experience for students to have. So we do work with quite a few countries for this program. We also is a school that's considered the most diverse in the continental US. If you walk around Montgomery County and you see the populations in Montgomery County, you walk into Montgomery College, it reflects that population. Okay, we have students that represent over 160 different countries. So you know that when you walk in here, you're gonna see familiar faces, you're not gonna feel left out, and that's why people decide to go to Montgomery College. We also have a lot of competitive honor programs, which I'm gonna be talking about a little bit later on. Okay, and this is one of the honor programs that we have here. It's called the Montgomery Scholars, and that's one of those. And then we have the Macklin Business Institute, among other different type of honor programs. With this program, typically these honor programs, you have to apply into them. So let's say Montgomery Scholars, for example. This is the program where you can apply, be admitted, and be major in practically anything. As long as you maintain a certain GPA, you maintain a certain criteria that they require, then you remain in this program. For the Macklin Business Institute, just the name of it, you would know that you would have to be a business major. They take about 10, 15 students per year, and you get into this program. Again, you have to maintain a certain GPA, and these programs offer you a full ride at Montgomery College as a Montgomery County resident. Now, I mentioned earlier a little bit about the programs options. So you can see the pictures here. That shop with cars, that's the auto mechanic programs. So you can go to Montgomery College and get certificates and go out and repair cars. And within that discipline, you have different certificates. You can have a focus in electronic, in engine, in transmissions, and things like that. So plenty of options. You don't have to go to Montgomery College to be a nurse. You can be a CNA. You can be a physical therapy assistant and things like that. So if you look at this pictures, it represents pretty much a lot of things that we offer at Montgomery College. These are the pictures of the commencement. And in the years past, we typically have a commencement out in the field in the Rockville campus, on the Rockville campus. But this year, because of the pandemic, I think we are working toward having a remote or virtual commencement for students. So be on the lookout for that, for email communications from Montgomery College. Okay. Transfer anywhere. Okay, a lot of students have heard of this, but they don't know exactly, how to, understand this. It's basically, what it means is that if you start Montgomery College, chances are you have the ability to transfer to another school as long as you do well at Montgomery College. Montgomery College has a lot of agreements with almost all the four-year institutions in this region. Now, if you go to montgomerycollege.edu and you type in transfer agreements, for example, and you can go in there, you click on certain school, and it will tell you specifically what school has certain agreements and what program and things like that. For example, if you don't want to go to like, you want to go say to an elite school like American University, for example, our specific agreement with them is that if you graduate from Montgomery College with a 3.0, you get guaranteed admission over there. Okay, and if you graduate from Montgomery College with a 3.8, you start at American U in your junior year in their honor courses. So you see, even American University values our credential, our quality of education, and among all the schools that has agreements with us, we have GW, we have University of Maryland, Bowie, Towson, UMBC, and all those schools. Okay. At Montgomery College, as a student here, you can take advantage of a lot of resources that are available at Montgomery College. And one of which is tutoring, okay? We have tutoring, free tutoring for a student in every subject of your study. So if you were to be a student and you feel that, say, math is an area of need, for example, you may reach out to us, either your recruitment representative or the Raptor Central. You can just stop by and ask them, hey, this is what I need, and they will give you the information or where you need to go, okay? But it is very important that you reach out to us to let us know if you ever need anything, okay? We have about 30,000 students walking across campuses at all times, so we can't really read anybody's mind. If you ever need help, please, again, reach out to us, contact a staff member, stop at any department. If they don't know the information, chances are they will point you to the right direction, the right place to get the information if you ever need help. All right, this is one of my favorite slides, and it talks about, gives you kind of a brief look at a typical college schedule, okay? When you go to college, and Montgomery College specifically, you are not going to be forced to go to class from, say, 8, 9 o'clock and then leave at 2, 3 o'clock anymore. You're gonna get to choose your own schedule. You're gonna be able to sleep as late as 12 o'clock and then go to class, only in the afternoon, in the evening, or on a weekend only. Okay, so you get to choose your own schedule. I remember when I went to college, I used to go to class only Monday, Wednesday, and Friday only. And how I was able to do that? Well, an average course in college is about 3 credits, okay? And an average semester is about 15 credits, okay? So that's about 5 classes. And the reason I say 15 credits, simply because on average, an associate's degree would require about 60 credits. So if you take 15 credits consistently for 4 semesters, 2 years, and you will pass them all, then you will have completed your associate's degree. Now the same thing, if you do that, and because the bachelor degree typically requires 120 credits to complete, if you do 15 credits per semester for the next 8 semesters, 4 years, you will have completed your bachelor degree if you will have passed them all. So that's how it works. And the way I did it when I was in college is that I only schedule 5 classes, only Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And what a 3 credits class means is that you have to spend at least 3 hours per week in the classroom for that class. So I would schedule an 8 o'clock class, a 9 o'clock class, a 10 o'clock class. I would take a break, and then a 1 and a 2. By 3 o'clock, my days were over. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I went to school 3 days out of the week, and that was a full load, 15 hours, okay? And I did it consistently, and that's how I got through college. So you can do the same thing with just Tuesday and Thursday and so on and so forth. So and make sure that when you schedule your classes, register for classes, that you pay attention to the sessions that are available, the time slot, and manage your time that way. So you can get the schedule that is up to your liking. Don't blend in, stand out. All right. This is what I've seen a lot. A lot of students come up to me and say, hey, you know what? I don't know anybody. Even though, you know, when you were in high school, you kind of like know everybody in your class, right? When you get to college, it's a little bit different. You know, the school is a lot bigger. Chances are you don't know a lot of people. You may not know anyone that that goes to the same school, go to Montgomery College. So what you need to do is just make sure that you get involved in programs, in activities at school. And one of the department that offers you opportunities to be involved in a lot of things is the student life department. Each student life department at each campus has tons of different clubs. But let's say if there's a club, there's a certain area of interest that you don't that we don't have currently. You can always submit an application, find people that share the same interest, and have your own club. You know, run your own club, get experience running something, leading something, and you will stand out. You can have something to put on your resume. It's very important. This department also offers a lot of information on volunteerism. Volunteer opportunities are available to students who want to do it during your spare time and things like that. And I don't know how to stress this, but it is very important. You guys, you may not pay attention to it. You may not see it the way that I do, but trust me, it's very important to volunteer. And the reason I'm saying this is because when you, let's say if you're done with school, right, and you want to go to grad school, and you say you apply to Harvard or Yale or any of these top schools, and you and another person both have 4.0 in GPA, but on your resume, on your application, you list where you volunteer, who was in charge, what you did. More than likely, they're going to pick you over another person, because these schools also want to provide the opportunity to those who potentially will give back to the communities. So believe me, it'll help out in the long run. So do volunteerism. Okay. As far as sports, we have basketball, we have soccer, we have softball, we have baseball. Now for soccer and basketball, we have both men and women teams. So if you're interested in getting involved playing the sport for Montgomery College is also in Division 1, 2, and 3 for junior colleges. That means that we have the ability to offer athletic scholarships. So if you feel that you deserve a scholarship, I would highly recommend that you speak to a coach, try out, talk about scholarships, and hopefully that you guys can work something out, okay? All right, so this page is basically a MyMC portal page. Excuse me. If you apply to Montgomery College, chances are you get a welcome letter from us in the form of email. Right now, probably just email, but in the past, you also get a piece of mail in your mailbox. But it gives you information, your MyMC credential. And what you need to do is you need to follow the instructions in that letter, telling you to claim your account for the first time, to create a password, and then you can log on to your MyMC portal. And this is what MyMC portal looks like. On this portal, you can use it to check on your financial aid application, and turn in forms, print them out, turn them in. You can complete your orientations. You can schedule an appointment to speak with a counselor and all of that good stuff. There's a lot of things you can do here. You can apply for a parking permit. You can make payment arrangements. You know, you have links that get to your bookstores and all of that good stuff. So make sure that you utilize this website as it has a lot of important information for you to complete. All right. One of the major things that a lot of students consider is the cost. Now, if you look at Montgomery College, what resources we offering students versus other schools, including the premier Maryland State School and the premier out-of-state private university. And you can see the significant difference in cost. While we're offering all of that just as they do, we cost a fraction of what they cost. Um, and I'll give you an example of why it's important for someone to attend Montgomery College, namely because the credits that you take at Montgomery College at college level more than likely will be transferring to the next institution. And about 3 years ago, I talked to two students who attended Paint Branch High School, and both of which got accepted to GW. And I was able to convince one to start at Montgomery College. So Montgomery College costs roughly around $5,000 a year, and GW costs about $65,000 a year. So if the student was to complete 2 years of Montgomery College and then transfer to GW in the third year, and by the end of the fourth years, these two students will have completed the same exact degree. Guess how much money the student who started at Montgomery College will have saved? $120,000. That is a whole lot of money. And nowhere on that bachelor degree at GW is going to say this person received a bachelor degree, but transfer from Montgomery College, for example. It doesn't say where you transfer from. It simply awards you your bachelor degree. So that is the reason why a lot of students decide to start Montgomery College first, because that $120,000 is going to come in handy when you apply to grad school, because you know graduate school is going to cost a whole lot of money, and you want to save that loan money for graduate school. You don't want to be deep in debt by the time you're done with school, right? So that's why a lot of people decide to go with Montgomery College first. All right, this is a Raptor reference. This Raptor reference lets you know all the steps that you need to do in order to complete the enrollment process at Montgomery College. So you can see that we have step one, we divide into 4 different steps, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So step one is the first one you do, you apply for admissions, okay? And then you apply for financial aid. If you are eligible for financial aid, you apply for financial aid. You can go to fafsa.ed.gov and apply. And if you're not eligible for federal aid, you can also visit MHEC website and try to see if you're eligible for state financial aid, okay? And then you need to make sure that you forward your transcript over to Montgomery College, because every time you apply, you would automatically be accepted pending your graduation from high school or a GAD. So make sure you do that. Now, if you have any sort of disability, even very minor one, like some students would just need to have extra time to take the test, maybe a private room. Some students may need a bigger screen, a larger keyboard, something as minor as that. As long as it's documented, I would highly suggest that you submit your DSS form online at montgomerycollege.edu so that we can have someone talk to you and place that on your student profile so that we can accommodate you accordingly. Because we want everybody to have an equal opportunity, equal chance to do as well as anybody else, okay? So if you have any kind of disadvantages, just let us know, okay? Now, if you are part of a DREAM Act type of students, you make sure you contact the registrar office and submit your form by a certain date. There's a certain deadline for everything, so make sure you do that. So step 2, once you finish the applications, you've done all of that stuff, you're gonna be receiving a welcome letter with the instructions as I told you earlier. Then you claim your account. You get into your account, you click on the financial tab, you send in your forms, and make sure you turn everything in so that your application can be processed. Then you take the test, because every time you go to school, we have to make sure that we place you accordingly. So if you don't fall into any category that would waive you uh, from taking a college placement examination, then you would need to take a placement test, um, either the regular Accuplacer or the Accuplacer ESL, and that's depending on whether or not you've been in school in the U.S. for at least a certain amount of time. Okay, if you have questions specifically about that, you can ask me a little bit later on. Okay. Now, step 3 is you complete all the orientations. Once you're done with all of that, you make sure you do your new student orientations, advice and questionnaires, your academic orientation, and then you schedule an appointment to speak with a counselor. Step 4 is you prepare for the semester. You wait until the day registration opens. You register for classes that will have been advised to you, first semester, second semester, third semester, and so on and so forth, to register for your classes. Okay, and then you also need to make sure that you take a picture ID to get your student ID, because with the student ID, you can use it for a lot of things. A lot of places will give you a discount as a student. If you don't have your own transportation, you can use that and get on a ride-on for free. You can use that to get on the inter-campus shuttles, because we do have campus shuttles that take students from one campus to the next. So if you happen to take a class in, say, Rockville in the morning and then in the afternoon in Germantown, we do have transportation that will get you there. Okay. If you have your own, you drive your own car, you can also obtain your parking permit and all of that. Okay. These are certain deadlines that you need to pay attention to, like financial aid forms, March 1st. Please don't take this the wrong way, because when a lot of students think that, hey, it's March 1st is deadline for financial aid forms, that I didn't submit it by then, I'm not, qualified to receive financial aid anymore. That is not true. March 1st is the priority deadline. That means that if you, submitted all of your application and forms by March 1st, you will be the first batch that being prioritized to process first. It doesn't mean that you've done anything after that you won't be eligible for financial aid. So please, even if you have not applied for financial aid before March 1st, you can apply now. But make sure you realize that you can start the next school year in October. So this coming October, you can start applying for financial aid for the next school year, which is 21, 22, actually 22, 23. So make sure that you have any questions, you can always stop by the financial aid office or Raptor Central, and they'll let you know. Registration every year is around, late April, beginning of May, but this year, because of the pandemic, we extended the registration date down to May 18, which is a few days from now. So be ready, get everything done, so that comes May 18, you'll be among the very first to register. That way you can get the schedule that's favorable to you, okay? Maryland Dream Act, if you belong to this category, please contact the registrar office and let them know your situation, and they'll let you know what the requirements are and what you need to submit by July 1st. Okay, MC Foundation scholarships also are available. If you are still looking for to apply for scholarships, make sure you submit your application by July 1st. Disability support services, make sure you submit your form. Like I mentioned earlier, you go to montgomerycollege.edu, you type in DSS, and they'll bring you to the link to the disability support services, and you can complete an online form, and they will assign somebody who will talk to you. Okay, so we're here to help. Right now we have 3 recruitment representatives and our manager. So, we're gonna need more people to help. But in the meantime, contact any of the 3 of us. Go to montgomerycollege.edu and go to the future students page. You're gonna see events, and a lot of things that are available. You can see our contact information and all of that. Okay. Now, say Welcome Center there, but actually that's going to have to be changed to Raptor Central now. Okay. So later on, you're going to see that page is going to show Raptor Central instead of Welcome Centers. All right. And these are frequently asked questions. If you have a phone right now, a cell phone or something like that, if you're not using your cell phone, take a snap of this, because it tells you about the most asked questions, frequently asked questions, including where to turn your forms, where to turn your financial aid stuff, all of that. So take a snap at that. Okay. All right. So let's take some questions if you have any questions. All right. Let's go with. All right. Let me see. What countries are the study abroad program? Well, in the past few years, I know that we have worked with some country in Africa. I think we have a group that visited Ireland, Japan. So that's quite a few countries. You may want to go to the Montgomery College website and type in study abroad, and you get to the link and they'll tell you what country is going to be for the next year or so, or the next event, next opportunity, for example. And you can find additional information there. Okay. All right. So next question is, let me see. Okay. Do all students need to take the Accuplacer test from Montgomery College? No, not exactly. If you have taken an SAT, an ACT, or any other type of test, like a TOEFL or an IELTS or anything like that, you can always forward the scores to Montgomery College, and you can just send it to Raptor Central, RAPTORCENTRAL at montgomerycollege.edu, and we'll get that processed and placed in your student profile. The only time that you would be required to take the Accuplacer test is that if you don't fall into any of the category that would waive you from taking the test, such as a GPA requirement or a high-level English course or a high-level math course that would waive you from taking the test, then yes, you would need to take the Accuplacer test at Montgomery College so that we know where to place you in accordance to your level. Okay. Do you have scholarship to play sport at MC? Yeah, I mentioned a little bit earlier that we do have scholarships available. You just have to make sure that you talk to a coach about the process of obtaining scholarships, how you go about doing it, probably involve tryout, some sort of consultation with the coach, and we'll see how it goes. But yes, we do offer athletic scholarships. Okay. What is the next step after you create your profile on Montgomery College? Well, if you have received a welcome letter from us, in the welcome letter, it tells you all the steps you need to do, including what I talked about earlier when I show you the Raptor reference, the 4 steps, step 1, 2, 3, 4. So the first thing you do is you apply for the admission at Montgomery College. You get a welcome letter, and it gives you your credential. So in that credentials, it includes your username and your M number. You need to use those 2 items to claim your account and then create a password. And that's how you get a student profile, basically a MyMC portal, so that you can do other things as a student, okay? How do I get my student ID? Well, you will be able to get your student ID hopefully when the offices are open again. But once you will have registered for your classes and you have your um, finances taken care of, such as, if you're applying for financial aid, that you turn in all your forms, if you're making payment arrangement already, then you simply show that at our security office, and they'll snap up pictures, and that's how you can get your student ID. Okay, what intramural sports do MC have? Well, what we have, like, we have basketball, men and women, soccer, men and women. We have baseball, softball. We have quite a few. Volleyball. So if you interested in playing any kind of sport, I would highly suggest that you go to montgomerycollege.edu, go to the search bar. It's very important, guys. Any information that you want to find out at Montgomery College, and for whatever reason you can't get in touch with any of us at the college, you go to our website and you use that search bar like you using your like you use your Google bar. Type in the keyword, and I guarantee you 99% of the time you will find what you're looking for. Okay. How would I plan? Let me see. How would I plan academic schedule if I intend to major in architectures and minor in performance arts? This is a great question to ask your counselor. Okay. If you have completed all the steps already, including your orientations and all of that, when you schedule an appointment to speak with a counselor, you put down this exact questions, okay? And the counselor will be able to sit down and map out an academic plan with you and respond to you and tell you exactly what you should do and what's the best route to go about based on your plan, okay? All right. Having difficulty scheduling meeting with a counselor, how do we get through? I don't think we have a problem with scheduling a meeting with a counselor right now, because at this point, we are allowing students to schedule a remote appointment now. It used to be that you may have a problem when you're trying to schedule face-to-face meeting. But right now, you can simply submit your online request for a counselor meeting remotely. Chances are you'll get through. And if you're having problem, you can always contact IT support, and their phone number is 240-567-7222. Okay, again, that number is 240-567-7222. If you ever encounter a problem that has to do with technical difficulties, such as, you forget your password, you can't log on, you got blocked, locked out of your account, yada, 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 make sure that you call IT support and they'll help you. All right. All right. And let me see. Doesn't the SAT test that we took at school count? Okay. Well, the SAT test that you took at school would count if you decided to, go log into College Board, because if you have taken either an SAT or an ACT or whatever that is, chances are you have an account with College Board. And you can log on to College Board account and download a PDF copy, and then you can simply send to Raptor Central, and we will we will put the score into the system. But you have to remember the scores that we consider that you would replace at college level for SAT, for example, is 480 for reading and 530 for math if you took it after March 1st of 2016. Anything before that is 500 for reading and 500 for math. Okay? So make sure you talk with your counselor or you log into College Board, make sure that you are placed at college level. Otherwise, you can choose another option to take the test, such as the AccuPlacer. Okay. All right. Do all students need to register classes for the fall 2020? Okay. Well, this not necessarily. I mean, it depends on when you want to go to school. Let's say if you want to go to start in the summer, you can register for the summer. If you have met all the requirements, you simply talk to a counselor, and then get advice on what classes you need to take for the summer. But please, make sure that you understand the summer courses are it's very short. It's about 5-6 weeks, depending on what course, and it's very condensed. So if you decide to take a summer course, you know that you're gonna need a lot of self-discipline. So make sure that you prepare for it. Okay. But yeah, you don't need to just register for the fall semester. You can register as early as summer. Fall semester is just the next semester after the summer. When do fall classes start? It starts after Labor Day, I believe. Last year's the same way. So it's the first week of September. That's when it starts. Although classes start varies, because if you can have late starting courses that start maybe a week or two later. You may have a condensed course that start a little bit early and even ends a little bit earlier than other normal classes. So it really depends on your choices that you're gonna make when you register for classes, and you'll be able to find out when classes start and when it stops. How can we schedule an appointment? Well, what kind of appointment, right? If you want to schedule an appointment, let's say with a counselor, you go into your MyMC portal, you click on the counseling and advising network icon, it'll bring you to another page. You go down to Starfish, and there you have an option to schedule an appointment to speak with a counselor remotely, okay? Is it true that I need to register for my classes before I have access to my MC email? This is something that I'm not certain, but I would believe that you have access to MyMC as soon as you have your MyMC portal, because we sent you email communications to your regular email as well as your school email. So if you go into MyMC portal, and one of the top icons that are the same on the same level as the counseling and advising network, I think the third icon, that's the email one. It will, if you click on that, it will link you to Microsoft 360, and you can activate your email account there, Outlook over there. Okay. Can you take classes at both Germantown and Rockville? Absolutely, absolutely. I have seen so many times where students would take classes in the morning in Rockville, and then having to work in Germantown, for example, during the afternoon, and ended up taking classes with the Germantown campus afterward. Okay. All right. With that, I am going to end this Zoom webinar. And if you have any questions, you can always go back to this video, which we will upload to our recruitment Facebook page. And you also have our contact information. You can always email us, call us, whatever it is. Our information is on Montgomery College website. If you type in, recruitment or future students, you can get to that page and you can contact us later on. Thank you very much, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Thank you.